The royal family honors Queen Elizabeth 1 year after her passing. And Prince Harry kicks off the Invictus Games while William and Kate talk about their competitive sides. We've got that plus so much more on today's Royally Us. Hey everyone, Christina here with Christine, and welcome to another big week of Royally Us. A lot of big news this week. Can't believe it's been 1 year since Queen Elizabeth has passed. There was definitely some somber tributes, some lovely tributes, and we kicked off the Invictus Games.
Yeah, this really was, the first week of really back at work, back in action. Lots of somber moments, lots of, emotional moments of remembrance, but also some fun stuff going on as well.
Definitely. All right, before we get into it all, like always, we want to check in with, see what you guys had to say about last week's show. DJ Jackson says, Harry and Meghan will never win with some people. They should continue to be themselves and live their best lives, which it kind of seems like that's what maybe that's their goal now.
Yeah, I think we're definitely seeing a bit of that now.
Definitely. And then Nicole Marie says, Harry said on their first date that she was wearing something completely different in his book and in the documentary, not a blue dress, talking about the something blue added to her wedding dress. A lot of people commented on this saying that that's not what she wore for her first date. People remember everything.
I think Meghan has always said it was a blue dress, and Harry has said it was a top and jeans.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to Meghan on this one. I mean, men are not really, liable for remembering fashion details.
That
so
is
I guess the only one who really knows is probably Meghan.
Probably.
I'm willing to bet Harry kind of forgot.
Totally. All right. Let's move on to our news of the week. And like we said, it's been 1 year since Queen Elizabeth passed, and King Charles shared a touching tribute to his mother. The royal family's official social media page said, in marking the first anniversary of Her late Majesty's death and my accession, we recall with great affection her long life, devoted service, and all she meant to so many of us. I am deeply grateful, too, for the love and support that has been shown to my wife and myself during this year, as we do our utmost to be of service to you all. Now, alongside this heartfelt message, she shared a video montage that featured an image of young Elizabeth, as well as a photo of himself, wife Queen Camilla, and his mother waving from Buckingham Palace. William and Kate also penned a social media tribute in addition to attending a memorial service in Wales. They wrote, today we remember the extraordinary life and legacy of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth. We all miss you, and the couple captioned a photo of Elizabeth on Instagram. And Princess Eugenie, for her part, honored her grandmother by sharing a photo of them casually sitting on a bench together, writing, thinking of you today, missing you so much, but remembering what a life of service, love, and dedication to everyone and to your family who loved you so very much. Forever grateful to you and always in my heart. Some beautiful tributes, some beautiful photos, and like we said, hard to believe, 1 year.
I know so many of us, I think that the consensus was it's unbelievable that a year has passed. I think that there was so much, in the few weeks after her death, leading up to the funeral, and then you're talking about, leading up to the coronation. It's just gone so quickly. But the tributes were really, really special. William and Kate obviously traveled to Wales to attend a service to commemorate the day. I think the social media posts were an excellent move on the part of the royal family, just very relevant, very poignant, and sort of allowed them to stay in touch with, with the modern people. It's a modern digital era.
Right.
So it was very moving all around, I think, and just a nice way to mark the day.
Definitely. And Prince Harry was also in London marking the occasion. He was spotted visiting the church where Queen Elizabeth was laid to rest. He was seen at St. George's Chapel in Windsor on September 8th, presumably paying his respects to the first anniversary of her death. In a photo obtained by the Daily Mail, Harry exited the chapel, the same place he married Meghan Markle back in May of 2018, in a white button-down shirt, dark trousers, and his solo outing came one day after he attended the Well Child Awards in London. And during the ceremony, he briefly referenced the late Queen's impact on the UK, saying, I know she's looking down on all of us tonight. Kind of making that solo outing. We didn't think that he would be, spending time with the family, but this is kind of a big statement that he, went there to pay his respects on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he did. It was very early in the morning. It was before that Windsor Castle was open to the public. On the other hand, there are lots of people at Windsor Castle. There's people who live there, so it's not so surprising that he was photographed. But I think he did try to fly under the radar, pay his respects. Anyone can go and visit. Obviously, when it's open, anyone can go and visit where Queen Elizabeth is laid to rest within St. George's Chapel. It's very moving if you do make the trip. But I think it was a special way for him to just sort of sneak in, pay his respects, probably have a quiet moment there, and then try to sneak back out before he got back to work with the Well Child Awards, getting ready for Invictus, and cracking on with his work. Yeah, definitely. And speaking of work, like you said, everybody is back to work, and Princess Kate is helping to tackle the problem of addiction in prisons. She went behind bars at HMP Highdown in Surrey, England, on behalf of a long-standing cause on Tuesday morning, seeing how inmates and their families are being supported through addiction. She saw how the Forward Trust, of which she is a royal patron, helps in those in the criminal justice system manage and recover from their addictions. She was shown what a family goes through during a normal visit to the jail, beginning with the required security process. She also heard about the impact that this has on a family. Now, Highdown, which is a men's prison with around over 1,000 prisoners, has been working to try to ensure that it is more positive experience for children in particular. So very interesting outing. I'm sure it was very eye-opening. And like we said, she's a royal patron of this, so it is something that she is probably going to be working more in the future. Yeah, she's made several visits, or a few visits to different prisons around the country. And it's always such an interesting event because actually all of this ties back to early childhood, because many of the issues that caused these people to commit these crimes in the first place, whether it was a drug addiction, whether it was poverty, the root cause of these crimes often stems from early childhood. So it is about, learning the effects of a traumatic or negative early childhood experience, and also ensuring that those children, the children of inmates, also have that, a positive experience despite their life circumstances. It's about breaking cycles. It's about learning more about root causes. And it is all connected to our experience in early childhood. I always find these visits very, very moving because it's such a huge juxtaposition. The photos are of Kate entering through the big, metal prison gate, and there's the Princess of Wales. And I always think these are some of her most interesting engagements. No, definitely. And like you said, everything kind of ties back to the root of her mission, which is early childhood development and how important those first few years are. So it's great to see her doing some good work. Well, speaking of good work, Prince Harry kicked off his Invictus Games, and he made an appearance, and it was a shock to the organizers. So a note from the foundation on X read, "The Duke of Sussex dropped in this morning to meet with our international group of volunteer categorizers. This group, led by We Are Invictus, conducts all assessments of the competitors at the Invictus Games to facilitate fair competition and recovery." He later gave an empowering speech at the event's opening ceremony to kick off the games, which is the 6th game, which is being held in Germany for the first time. And he shared words of wisdom about self-discovery, teamwork, while also giving a cheeky shout out to Meghan toward the end of his speech. He recognized new nations joining the games, and he explained that he has fans in his household. He said, "Now, I'm not saying we play favorites in our home, but since my wife discovered she's of Nigerian descent, it's likely to get a little bit more competitive this year." Meghan, she is 43% Nigerian, thanks to a genealogy test that she took years back, which she opened up about in October of 2022. So the Invictus Games founder then encouraged the crowd to break those ceilings and plow down the highest of walls to make space for what's deserved. It seems like overall it's been a great event so far. We're still in the middle of it as we're filming this, but this is something that is near and dear to Harry's heart. And 6th one, first time in Germany. I'm sure it's going to be a great, great few days. I know this is really one of the causes that's most important to Prince Harry. And you can see that in the way that he speaks about it, how enthusiastic he is, how important it is that he's at these events. He goes to, he attends as much as he possibly can. So it's just, this is really one of the, I think we'll see them every single year supporting the Invictus Games as long as they go on, because it's just so important to them. So important. All right. Well, the Prince of Wales was out in Bordeaux, France over the weekend to attend the Rugby World Cup 2023 group stage match between Wales and Fiji. His sporting engagement in Bordeaux came the day after his wife, Kate, attended another group stage match for the Rugby World Cup in France, where she cheered for England as they played Argentina. So it is a rugby rivalry in that household. Yeah, I think that, we'll talk about this more, but they're hugely competitive. It's a very sporty household. We even saw Kate at the visit to the prison earlier this week with a finger injury from a heated trampoline match with her children. So I imagine after, with the Rugby World Cup going on, there's probably a good amount of competition going on as William supports the Welsh Rugby Union and Kate supports the English Rugby Union.
Love it. Love a good competition. All right, let's spill some royalty. And a former employee of Queen Elizabeth claimed Prince Harry and Meghan snubbed the late Queen's invitation to celebrate Princess Lilibet's first birthday with her. I don't know if I believe this one, but the Queen's one-time footman Paul Burrell told the Mirror, even on Lilibet's first birthday, the Queen didn't see her. She saw her the day before, but on her birthday, the Queen had a birthday cake made with one candle in it, and they never turned up. The candle was never lit. Sorry. However, a source tells Page 6 that there is no truth to Burrell's claims. The source said to them they did see the Queen to celebrate Lily's birthday. We know that she saw Lilibet, met Lilibet. They celebrated the first birthday, but I can't imagine that they left that candle unlit.
This sad image of this cake and melting in Buckingham Palace with the unlit candle. I mean, it's a pitiful story, but there's been lots of claims that Paul Burrell's made lately that have sort of been squashed. So I wonder how much longer they'll be asking him for his opinion.
Very, very true. All right. Well, this is a big story that kind of shook the fashion world. So after 13 years at the helm, Sarah Burton is set to leave Alexander McQueen. Of course, she designed Kate Middleton's famous wedding dress, and she will present her final collection for spring-summer 2024 in Paris at the end of September. And she announced that she is parting ways with the fashion house that she has worked at for over 2 decades. Definitely some pieces that will go down in the history books.
Absolutely. I mean, the Princess of Wales has looked to Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen for almost every single major outfit she's worn in her entire tenure as a member of the royal family. So this is an interesting move. And will we see Kate keeping with Sarah Burton wherever she may go? Will she stick to the McQueen line? It's going to be an interesting fashion move if you follow it really
it'll
closely.
Be interesting. Right. Like
interesting where this goes.
No, totally. It'd be interesting to see if her style changes, evolves at all. But yeah, this is right. It will be. So we'll have to be on the lookout. All right. Well, let's end with our pint-sized palace. And Prince William and Princess Kate, like we said before, they love a good competition. And they sat down on Mike Tyndall's podcast and talked about competition and sports in the family. William said it's that camaraderie, that relationship, building and learning to lose, which I think we've got to concentrate more on nowadays. I think people don't know how to lose well. Talking about our children in particular, I want to make sure they understand that it's really important from a young age to understand how to lose and why we lose, and then to grow from it through that process. I love that. Not everyone gets a trophy. William noted that they also teach their kids how to win well without boasting or seeming arrogant during victory celebrations. Kate said what's really interesting is that they all have very different temperaments as they are growing and trying out different sports, and it's going to see how that grows and develops over time. Kate, however, did explain that parents' races at George, Charlotte, and Louis' school do get heated. They said, we have done it, and we were told categorically that there was no parents' race, but then they called one at the last minute, saying maybe the competitive side of both of us came out, like we have to take part. So I did it with bare feet. I love that.
Oh my goodness, I absolutely love this whole interview. Is amazing. Yep. It's sort of leading up to the Rugby World Cup. They talk about such diverse topics, but how much do we love hearing these tidbits about the children, about what life is like at home? I mean, the Princess of Wales barefoot in the parents' race is just an iconic image, Yes, and they also reveal that Kate plays beer pong. So, I mean, she's just like us. I never would my money on that, Christina. I never would have bet on it.
Love it. Like you said, this is such a fun interview, and it's so great when they sit down with family. I'm sure they feel a lot looser, a lot more comfortable, and you can definitely see that. But it's such an important topic that they hit with, teaching their children how to lose gracefully, how to win gracefully. And I think it's an important topic that I think a lot of parents don't really know how to tackle now, since it's so different from probably when we were growing up.
Yeah, definitely. And again, these conversations, given their platform, just open up the conversation, get lots of people thinking, and it only helps. It can only help.
It can only help. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Us. Christine, thank you so much as always.
We're getting back into it. I feel the royal world lighting up again.
Yes, it is lighting up. Yeah, the past couple weeks have been a little iffy, but we are back in the swing of things and couldn't be more excited about it. And of course, we're going to be breaking it down each and every week. So keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you guys next week. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.